Have you ever woken up and felt like the universe had already declared war on you? Before you even rolled out of bed, like your spirit was already exhausted, weighed down by invisible chains of expectations, fake smiles, and relentless noise echoing. In your head, you lie there, staring at the ceiling, paralyzed by a day that hasn't even begun. You know that feeling, don't you? That silent battle raging inside your chest. It doesn't roar, it suffocates. That's exactly when I stumbled upon Stoicism, not as some fancy, poetic philosophy to quote over coffee, but as a fierce survival weapon. A lifeline to reclaim every drop of energy I was mindlessly bleeding away. Stoicism didn't show up as a sweet mantra or a cute Instagram quote. It showed up as a raw, urgent declaration of war against every thought, every distraction, every mental parasite squatting rent-free in my mind. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Those aren't just words. They're a battle cry from a man who commanded armies while wrestling his own inner storms. Imagine if you stopped feeding your energy into every useless worry and mindless drama. Imagine if you stopped handing your peace away as if it meant nothing. This isn't about faking smiles or pretending life is all sunshine. It's about becoming unshakable, about rising up stronger when everything screams that you should collapse. Today is not some feel-good seminar or a sugar-coated self-help lesson. Today is a reckoning, a raw, unfiltered reminder of who you truly are. We're not strolling through 5 cute little tips. We're going to break through 5 brutal, soul-cutting truths that will rip your energy back into your own hands. Each truth is soaked in stoic grit, scarred by real-world struggles, and blazing with a fire more powerful than any motivational speech. This isn't for the faint-hearted. This is for those who are sick and tired of feeling empty, tired of waking up already defeated. You're not broken, you're just drained. And we're going to flip that script, starting right now. But before we dive in, I need you to do something, and do it with intention, not like a zombie on autopilot. Smash that like button as if you're driving your fist into the ground. Refusing to stay down, drop a comment below saying I am the master of my energy. Shout it into existence. Share this with someone who's silently crumbling behind a brave face. And hit that subscribe button, because what's coming isn't just another video. It's a full-on electrical shock to your spirit. Now, close your eyes. Take a deep breath. You're standing at the edge of something far bigger than comfort. Behind you is the storm. Ahead lies the wild unknown, dangerous, unpredictable, but entirely yours. Feel it in your bones. It's time. Let's begin. Number 1. You stayed in that room, jaw clenched, pretending to be calm while your spirit screamed on the inside. That's the price you paid. You betrayed yourself to maintain a false peace. And then you wondered why your soul felt restless, like it could never truly settle. People don't break you in one big, dramatic explosion. No. They wear you down slowly, drip by drip. They drain you by expecting you to constantly carry their chaos, to hold space for their storms without ever asking how your heart is doing. And the harshest part? You let them. You handed them the knife. You gave them the keys to your most fragile places, and you practically guided them to your weak spots. Then they stabbed you over and over again, all while smiling in your face and calling it love. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are pained by any external thing, it is not this thing that disturbs you, but your judgment about it, and it is in your power to wipe out this judgment." That isn't just some pretty line you read and move on. That's raw, blood-soaked truth. It means this: you suffer because you keep giving weight to things that don't deserve even a fraction of your energy. You bleed because you allow empty words and worthless opinions to shape your self-worth. The pain isn't truly out there. It only has power because you let it in. You're not exhausted because you're weak. You're overextended because you said yes when your entire body screamed no. You're not confused because you lack clarity. You're surrounded by noise, tangled in the echo of everyone else's demands. Your spirit isn't broken. It's suffocating, buried under the heavy layers of all those forced smiles and silent sacrifices. You're leaking energy not because you're fragile, but because you haven't slammed the doors shut on the parts of your life that should never have had access to you in the first place. You need to cut them off, clean, silent, and without apology. Let those doors slam shut. Let the silence stretch and echo through the empty spaces they once occupied. You don't owe them a final text. You don't owe them an explanation. Your silence will roar louder than any goodbye ever could. You are not a bottomless well for the ungrateful. You are not a charger for people who keep draining your battery. You are not a crutch for those too afraid to stand on their own. You are fire. You are steel. You are sacred ground. And not everyone deserves the privilege to stand on you. Cut off the leaks. Not tomorrow. Not gently. Right now. Because every single drop of energy you waste on the wrong people is a piece stolen from the man or woman you were born to become. Number 2. Your attention is your kingdom. Guard it with your life, with your teeth. Whatever you give your attention to, you give your life to. It's that simple. Every second you spend thinking about something trivial, arguing over pointless noise, or scrolling through meaningless updates, you're handing out your life force like cheap candy. And what happens? They move in, rent-free, into your mental kingdom. They squat in your throne room. That's not just a moment lost. That's a crown dropped. A throne surrendered to fools who don't even deserve to glance your way. Your attention is pure gold in a world starved for meaning. If you throw it around carelessly, don't be surprised when you find yourself broke, empty, and lost inside a life that doesn't even feel like yours anymore. You don't lose focus all at once. It's stolen, crumb by crumb, notification by notification, drama by drama, doom scroll by doom scroll. One moment, you're planning your future with fire in your chest. The next, you're watching strangers argue online about things that have nothing to do with your path or purpose. One moment, you're present in your own body. The next, you're a ghost wandering through other people's noise, trapped in a digital labyrinth that feasts on your soul and spits out distraction. And then you ask yourself, why am I so anxious? Why am I always tired? Why do my goals keep slipping through my fingers like smoke? It's because your mind isn't yours anymore. It's been hijacked, not by some obvious villain in the dark, but by the slow, sweet poison of wasted attention. You are not broken. You're just bleeding out through the holes in your focus. Seneca once wrote, "There is nothing the busy man is less busy with than living." Let that sink in for a second. That's the dagger. That's the wake-up slap we all need. You can spend your entire life in constant motion, hustling, grinding, checking tasks off endless lists, yet never actually live. You forget to breathe with intention. You forget to savor the present moment like it's the only one you'll ever have. You forget to build your future deliberately, brick by brick, as if each choice were a stroke on the canvas of your destiny. And, above all, you forget to guard your mind as if it's your last and most powerful weapon, because it truly is. You don't owe your attention to every buzzing message, every random opinion, every viral trend, or every global crisis flashing across your screen in neon colors. You don't need to respond to everything. You don't need to stay updated on every trivial detail. You don't need to be available 24/7. In fact, the more you turn your focus inward, the more crystal clear everything around you becomes. What the world calls missing out, you'll start calling freedom. What they label rude, you'll recognize as deep, untouchable peace. Lock the gates. Draw the line in the sand. If something doesn't build you, it's breaking you down. If it doesn't elevate your vision, it's dragging your power into the dirt. Every glance at your phone, every mindless scroll, every late-night swipe, it all adds up. One careless click, and you're derailed. One shallow conversation with the wrong person, and suddenly, you're doubting your entire worth all over again. Attention is energy, and energy is everything. Guard it with teeth. Fight for it like it's your last breath if you have to. Rip your focus back into your own hands. Turn your phone off without feeling even a speck of guilt. Leave messages on read without shame or second thoughts. Let them think whatever they want while you build your empire in sacred silence. Your future won't be crafted by how many people like you or praise you. It will be built through your obsession, your unwavering discipline, your ruthless commitment, as if your life depended on it, because it absolutely does. They crave your attention because it holds power. The more of it they collect, the less power you have left to create, to grow, to become who you were meant to be. Every algorithm is carefully engineered to keep you hungry, to keep you endlessly chasing shadows. Every platform is designed to keep you scrolling, numb and hollow, until you forget what you even wanted in the first place. But you weren't born to be spoon-fed crumbs by machines. You weren't designed to be distracted into oblivion. You were built for battle, and focus is your blade. Your attention is your kingdom, and you, only you, decide if you will stand as its ruthless, unshakable king, or bow down as a servant handing out the keys to every random passerby. Choose wisely, because what you focus on, you fuel. And what you fuel, ultimately, shapes your entire fate. Number 3. Stop explaining yourself. Your energy isn't a negotiation. There comes a moment when you must stop breaking yourself down into pieces, just to be digested by people who've already decided they don't want to understand you. You weren't born to be a constant press release, offering statements and justifications for every breath you take. You weren't put on this earth to be dissected, doubted, or judged every time you choose peace over performance. Let them gossip. Let them misunderstand. Let them twist your story into knots if they must. You do not exist to babysit someone else's perception of you. Every single time you explain yourself to someone who doesn't even respect you, your power leaks out, drop by drop, word by word. You lose pieces of yourself while you scramble to justify why you pulled away, why you stepped out of the room, why you didn't text back, or why your spirit didn't align with their chaos. You are not rude, you're not cold, you're not arrogant. You're clear, and clarity terrifies those who thrive in confusion, because it means they can no longer manipulate. You owe no explanations for the ways you guard your soul. You don't have to hand over your reasons like receipts every time you choose to set a boundary. If your silence bothers them, it's because that silence echoes louder than any excuse ever could. People who respect themselves don't go around chasing approval. They don't beg to be understood. They move forward, with or without applause, and let the results speak volumes. Epictetus said it best. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, "He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned only these." That isn't just confidence. That's pure command of the self. That's the kind of unwavering inner strength that turns all outside noise into harmless background. Static. You don't need to shrink yourself to make others feel comfortable. You don't owe anyone an explanation for your truth, especially to those addicted to their own lies. Let them choke on their false narratives and twisted assumptions. You have empires to build, and your energy is too valuable to be wasted. In small, meaningless skirmishes, the more you explain, the more power you drain from your own spirit. The more you argue, the more you scatter your energy like confetti, thrown across battles that were never yours to fight in the first place. And here's the brutal truth. The people who demand the most explanations are the ones who never intended to believe you anyway. They're not really listening. They're gathering ammunition, storing your words as weapons to twist and fire back at you later. Stop handing them the bullets. Stop feeding them your energy. Start moving in absolute silence. Let your distance answer every question they never deserved to ask. Let your absence speak a language they can't twist, a language sharper than any rebuttal you could ever craft. The moment you stop explaining is the moment you begin truly reclaiming. Reclaiming your energy, reclaiming your peace, reclaiming your power. If someone questions your presence, let your absence echo like thunder. If your boundaries are tested, enforce them firmly, without a single blink. No apologies, no long explanations, just action, clean and decisive. You are not a debate to be won. You are not an option on a menu. You are not a customer service representative for your own soul, tasked with constantly clarifying and justifying your every move. You were not born to break yourself into tiny, digestible pieces for those who refuse to swallow the full truth of who you really are. Let them chew on the silence. Let them squirm in the echo of your non-response. Let them wonder why you disappeared and let them never, ever receive an answer. Your energy is not a negotiation. It is a bold declaration. And when you finally make peace with being misunderstood, you become untouchable. Number 4, master your mornings. That's where your energy is truly forged. The battle for your entire life doesn't begin in the chaotic, noisy moments. It starts in the silence. It begins in that sacred first breath you take before the world starts clawing at your focus and yanking at your spirit. Your morning isn't just another routine slot in your schedule. It's the furnace. It's the forge. It's the secret chamber where your energy, your mindset, and your momentum are either molded like unbreakable steel or shattered like fragile glass. You don't wake up strong by chance. You build that strength intentionally every single morning. You earn it, choice by choice, starting from the very second your eyes open. If the first thing your fingers reach for is your phone, you've already lost the day before it even begins. You've surrendered the wheel, letting strangers step into your mind. You've let the headlines set your mood. You've allowed the world's noise to flood the quiet sanctuary you were meant to protect. You cannot lead your day if you begin. It is a servant, endlessly scrolling, mindlessly reacting, consuming cheap dopamine hits instead of commanding your purpose. Your mind was designed for crystal clarity, not for the chaos of constant consumption. Your true power is forged in those quiet, unseen moments when no one is watching. When it's just you and your breath, you and your raw thoughts. Morning is where you plant your flag. It's where you choose, fiercely and intentionally, today. I run this show, not my cravings, not my emotions, not my past. That single decision you make before the rest of the world even wakes up. That is the real game changer. That is what shapes the entire arc of your day, and ultimately, your life. The Stoics knew this deeply. Discipline wasn't some trendy catchphrase to them. It was sacred armor. Marcus Aurelius would rise each morning and remind himself, when you rise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. Not out of naive sweetness, but as strategy. When you command your mornings, you become the kind of person who creates his own weather, storms. Don't shake him. People don't rattle him. He's already been up in the quiet, sharpening his mind and his edge before the noise even had a chance to crawl in. But if you wake up late, skip your rituals, and dive into the world like you're always sprinting to catch up, don't be shocked. When life keeps chewing you up and spitting you back out, you're not grounded, you're scattered. And scattered men don't lead. They chase, they react. They fall apart under pressure. You want clarity? Earn it. Sit alone in that quiet space no one else dares to enter. Meditate. Write your thoughts raw and unfiltered. Sweat until your demons drip out. Reflect until your inner mirror becomes crystal clear, and move your body with pure, focused intention. This isn't some fluffy self-help trend to sprinkle on top of your day. This is a survival tactic in a world designed to distract you, divide you, and drain you. Your morning is sacred ground. The one slice of time when the world hasn't yet infected your mind or stolen your energy. Guard it like a lone wolf guards its den. Carve out that sacred space before they even know you're awake. Build your mind before they try to break it. Move your body before the day weighs it down. Breathe deep before the chaos begins clawing at your throat. This isn't a luxury. It's a requirement. If you plan to lead your life with relentless fire, if you want to build a spine unbendable to life's demands, you don't master your mornings because it's cute or trendy. You master them because they turn your mind into a fortress, silence your inner critics, and ignite a fire no storm can extinguish. You don't need an elaborate 5-hour routine with endless checklists. You just need one non-negotiable ritual, something that belongs only to you, something that reinforces your spine before the world tries to bend it in half. So wake up early. Wake up hungry. Wake up like a warrior who knows the real battle isn't out there. It's inside. And it begins before sunrise. Because if you don't take command of your mornings, the world will snatch them from you. And the world doesn't give a damn about your peace. It wants your attention, your focus, your soul. Rip it back. Your energy is forged long before breakfast. Not in boardrooms, not in the gym, not on the battlefield, but in the silence, the stillness. In the invisible war you win before the sun rises. Number 5. Stop giving first-class energy to economy people. You're draining yourself dry, pouring all that rare brilliance into hands that treat it like cheap spare change. You show up bursting with fire for people who are nothing but cold ashes. You keep offering your deepest peace to souls who only know how to poison it. And you feel it deep down, don't you? You're not burning out from the work itself. You're burning out from the weight of being endlessly unappreciated by the very people you keep breaking yourself for. You give the best hours of your day, the sharpest clarity of your mind, the deepest, most sacred corners of your heart, to people who wouldn't even cross the street if they saw you drowning. You pour out fierce loyalty to people who vanish the second your shine fades. You find yourself explaining your worth to cowards. You beg for decency from those emotionally bankrupt, empty inside. You're trying to build palaces with people who only bring wrecking balls to the construction site, and it's killing you. Piece by piece. Stop. Your soul wasn't built to be sold at a discount. Your time isn't a yard sale for anyone who strolls by. Your energy isn't some vending machine that spits out warmth and support to anyone who pushes a button. Epictetus said it sharply. If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. That's your permission slip. Let them misunderstand you. Let them label you cold, distant, unkind. Let them choke on the silence you leave behind. Because protecting your energy will always offend the ones who are secretly feeding off it. You keep trying to save the ungrateful, but you're not their savior. You're their supply line, their emotional crutch, their emergency hotline, their polite punching bag. And every single time you say yes to them, you're saying no to your own peace. The more you bite your tongue, the more you hold back, the more you keep giving beyond your limits. They don't appreciate it. They grow stronger feeding off your silent sacrifices, getting fatter on your weakness. You're not helping them heal. You're enabling your own slow destruction. It's time to burn that bridge, not out of spite, not to hurt them, but for your own rebirth. Walk away without a dramatic exit. No long explanations, No final monologues, just cold, echoing silence and a door slammed shut for good. Because when someone drains you over and over, they don't deserve closure. They deserve distance, the kind that rings in their head long after you've disappeared. You weren't created to keep watering dead plants. You weren't born to be milked dry by takers who disguise their bottomless hunger as need. Start pouring your energy into people who pour it right back into you. Protect your energy like it's your last breath, because it truly is. The wrong people won't just waste your hours. They'll poison your sense of self, sabotage your focus, and leave your spirit bleeding in silent corners where no one can see you. Take a hard, unflinching look at who's eating at your table. Who are you answering texts from at 2 a.m.? Who do you keep bending your peace for? Ask yourself, would they bleed for you like you've bled for them? Or would they step right over your broken body without even blinking? Your energy is holy ground. Not everyone deserves a map to it. The more you let the unworthy in, the more you train them to believe your soul is on clearance. Stop giving first class fire to people who are only flying standby in your life. Let them miss the flight and never let them board again. If you take only one thing from this entire video, let it be this: your energy is your sharpest sword. It's the secret sauce to every single thing you want to become. Forget obsessing over how much time you have. You don't need more hours. You need more energy, pure, focused, unstoppable energy. Time will always slip through your fingers. Energy, though, that's the one thing you can reclaim and command. Once you do, you own your life. But mastery doesn't come through some app on your phone, a trendy checklist, or a stack of motivational books. It starts in the trenches. It starts with your raw, daily choices. What you say yes to, what you fiercely say no to, and most of all, what you allow into your sacred mind. It starts by cutting the noise, slashing the distractions, and removing the leeches. Whether they're habits, people, or those endless thoughts that drain you dry. Say no more often. Say it to people who only take and never give. Say it to the habits that keep you stuck in the same cycle. Say it to anything and anyone that doesn't serve the highest, strongest, most unstoppable version of yourself. Protect your peace like a lion guards its den. Because once it's gone, chaos slides in fast and silent. When your energy is clean, your mind sharpens. Your decisions become razor precise. Your presence roars without you saying a single word. You walk into a room and everyone feels the shift. Those who once tried to control you or drain you, they fall silent, not because they've changed, but because you stopped giving them the mic. You stopped handing them your power on a silver platter. Thank you for watching, Stoic friends. If this video hit you deep, drop a comment below and tell me, what line shook you the most? I want to hear your story. I want to feel your transformation with you. Don't forget to like this video, share it with someone who needs this fire, and subscribe to Stoic Capsule. Because here, we're not just consuming content, we're building a real community, a movement of people who understand the unstoppable power of energy, focus, and unbreakable will. And remember, your energy is not cheap. Stop handing out discounts. See you in the next one. Stay grounded, Stay powerful, stay stoic.